come close to unscrambling the phrase. Keep going. Or let's say it together. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Let me say it again so you can unscramble those if you haven't yet. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Now here's the address of that one as well. Psalm 100, verse 2. Psalm 100, verse 2. Let's say it one more time and see if we can connect that with Simeon's story and with ours. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Come before him with joyful songs. Guys, what's the response of faith? It's worship. Did you hear what it said? Come before him with sad songs. Come before him with somber songs. Come before him with no songs. No. Come before him with joyful songs. See, this is the response of faith. This is the response of seeing Jesus. It's worship, it's celebration, it's praising God, and it's not optional. It's built into our being. It's built in the core of who we are. It connects heaven and earth. And remember I told you it's going to connect the past with the present toward the future? Well, God wires music into our souls, not just so we can have a killer New Year's Eve party and we can dance the night away and we can celebrate and be happy. That, when we're happy with all that dancing and singing, that's just a little shadow of what God's trying to tell us about our relationship with him. That faith isn't just about knowing things in our head and facts. It's about celebrating the relationship, and he gives us music to do that. He wires that into our souls, and that gives us joy. Remember I told you, God delights. He wired us to worship because he delights in the praises of the crowd. He delights in hearing the crowd lift up his name. It's why in the singing that heaven and earth connect. So he wants everybody just kind of singing together. That's the beautiful thing about like Sundays. You think about Sundays as one time zone to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. There's this worship going on for 24 hours of celebrating God, of celebrating Jesus and his presence in our lives, about celebrating the fact that he's God with us, right in the mess where we need him to be, to lift us out of it, and to help us to share his joy with the world. Psalm 100, the whole thing, it says, your verse said, worship the Lord with gladness, come before him with joyful songs. And maybe you're like, well, no, I don't sing as good as the guy in the front row. I can't really sing at all. I'm the one who's getting nudged by my wife. Yeah, you're tone deaf. Well, here's the verse before that. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Make a joyful noise. He's saying worship is about what comes out of your spirit. It's a response to seeing God, whether you can sing on tune or not. Make a joyful noise. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Come before him with singing. God wired us to do that. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Enter his courts with praise. You see, that's what God wired us to do. Colossians chapter 3, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. That's why we spend some time in the Bible when we're together in worship. Because we want the word of God to plant itself in our heart. So like Simeon, we can not only believe and trust God's promises, but we can begin to develop the sort of character that's righteous and devout. The word helps us to do that. But then it also says, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. See, that's the singing, the music, the worship part that we're also wired to do. It's the response that says, this faith thing isn't just about knowing facts. It's about celebrating the relationship. And the best way I know to celebrate is with music. It's to singing and dancing. What if we put that into our life? Sometimes it's like worship is there's no energy. There's got to be energy because God's here and we're celebrating what He's done. And as we do that, God actually lifts us up, right? Just like you singing, celebrate, right? You can't help but smile and be lifted up from where you are as you're singing these songs of worship and praise and joy to God. That's the benefit. I mean, you come here, you're wired to do that because God tells you to do it, and the benefit is you get more out of it, and God fills you with joy even as you're singing praises to Him. And we already said, who doesn't need more joy in their lives? Here's something else that this worship time does. It actually it helps our witness. Because what if there's someone who comes in here, and there are people every week that come in here and they're just checking out Jesus and trying to figure out does He fit in my life? And if they come into worship and they sense blah and silence or no energy, or it kind of reflects probably on how we feel about God. And who needs more blah in their life? Right? But if they come and they experience, there's energy and there's joy and there's singing and some of it's on key and some of it's not, but there is some joyful spirit in this place, just maybe, you might say, well, I might want some of that too. Let me check it out some more. That's also why God wired worship into our lives. So if you do one of those New Year's resolutions, let me throw this one out for you. Like Simeon, just make it a resolution to be in places where you connect with God's Spirit, and make it a resolution to worship together regularly and consistently. And yes, supplement that with worshiping on your own and singing your own personal praises to God. But God wired us to be together. And then no matter what age you are, remember we really don't know how old Simeon was? No matter what age you are, when you do that, you're going to find that you can serve the Lord with joy, and you can share that joy in Jesus with other people, and you can connect then the past, what God's done in the past, with your present, and face the future of the next year with some hope and with joy in your lives. In a moment, the band's going to lead us in the singing of Joy to the World. I would encourage you to